welcome to Gaga Knits. This week is week 7 of lockdown, I believe. I hope you're all doing okay. I hope you're keeping busy and keeping sane. Apologies for the hairstyle today. I had a shower and washed my hair this morning and took Charlie out for her walk while my hair was still wet, and it's come out like this. And as we're not going anywhere else today, I'm not going to do anything with it, basically. Today I have a finished sewing project and I wanted to show you my progress on my knitting, crochet and cross stitch. Not a lot this time. Last time was a bumper issue, a bumper edition of projects, but this time I've just sort of been working on one thing in each craft area. I sent my parcel off to my grandsons, which had Johnny Jones the Rhino in it, and Harry was very pleased with him. And also with the Made by Me joggers for Harry. I did a hack with the shorts, and he liked them. It was in the minion fabric that was t-shirt fabric that was quite thin, so he's decided to wear them as pyjamas. So they were just a test because I had to rise or increase the crotch rise, and he does like them, but I sewed the elastic on the overlocker and that's already snapped, and he was stood talking to his mum the other morning and his shorts fell down because the elastic snapped. But they are only a test. But I wasn't quite happy with the fit of them, so I decided to redraft. Well, I thought I'll put a little video in trying to explain what I did and what I'm going to do. So I'll put that in here. So I added an inch to this pattern to raise the crotch line for Harry, and I put it this far down from the top because this part is a pocket. So I wanted to keep it away from the pocket, otherwise I'd have to make the pocket and everything an inch deeper as well. But I don't think that worked particularly well. So I decided just to print off these 4 pieces to stick them all together, to take that out because I've had to adjust the curves, and just stick them back together. But the only problem is the printer at home isn't measuring up, so the gauge, the test square, is actually showing 11 and not 10. So the pieces then I printed out, the coloured pieces here, are that much bigger, you can see, but they should actually line up. That should be this size. But what I thought I could do is I've taken that inch out that I extended it by, and I've stuck it back together, and over here where I had to trim it, I've laid the larger piece that I printed off on the home printer, so I've got that smooth line there. And also the black is the original here, but this coloured bit is the one that's on the 11 centimetre scale, and I do want to increase the trousers. So would it be all right just to increase it right at the top, where really it should be a couple of inches down here, and then I can add a little bit to this pockets, just because they're on the angle and I find it difficult. But this I've followed all the way up. Will it work? We'll have to see. I'm hoping that's going to work, and I'm also going to trace out the age 2 size, that's so the very smallest size, so I can make a pair of proper joggers for Jack, although Harry would like his to remain short, although I'm going to make them a little bit longer than the last pair. So that's the projects that I've done but also planning to do, and it was those joggers, but I'll put pictures in. Here I am going again, more on my cabin bed. And also Jodie's friend has asked me to make her little girl a dress. She said, would I mind? And I'd love to make some little girl's clothes. I haven't done it before. And I came across this lady, her patterns. Look at the artwork, it's so cute. And it's Viola, and I've printed off the whole pattern. But as I said earlier, the printer at home isn't printing to the right size. So this here is the little square that you've got to have 1 inch, and mine's 1 inch and 1/8, is it? So over 4 inches, that would be 4/8 out, wouldn't it? So I think perhaps if I print off my laptop, I can make the adjustments, but on a tablet or your phone, it doesn't have the option to print actual size. But I have printed the whole pattern, so I was wondering if you sewers who are more experienced than me, would it matter if the whole pattern is slightly out? If it's out all over, would it be equal, or is it better to reprint it in the right size? Please let me know below if you can help me with that one. And this is the fabric I'm going to make it in. So there's the dress and there's the fabric. It's got little strawberries on it, and many years ago I did a little sewing course. It's the only one I've done, and it was to understand sewing patterns, and you had to take a pattern with you, and it was mainly just cutting out and doing a few bits and pieces like that. But you had to have the fabric, and I chose this, and it's quite thin, but I thought for a little girl's summer dress and as a test run, that would be quite nice. And then if she likes it and it fits, then obviously I can make her something in a bit of a better quality fabric. Right, let's get on to my dress. So I have finished the Megan dress by Tilly and the Buttons, and here it is on Doris, my mannequin. I will put some pictures in as well. This is what the dress looks like on Tilly, and it's out of her Love at First Stitch book. And the reason why I did this dress was originally I was planning on making another dress, and I've ordered some fabric and it has been dispatched, but it's taking forever to come. And if you remember last time, I made the black skirt with the white dots, and the fabric was so thick it wasn't very good as a dress. So I've ordered some viscose that I hadn't worked with before, and because I'm impatient and my package hadn't arrived, I was looking through my stash and I found this fabric, which is very light, and it is viscose, or it is definitely man-made, because Martin did the test with the naked flame. This is highly flammable, this dress, apparently, but I had 1.5 meters, and the Megan dress only takes 1.5 meters. So I thought I'd give it a try, and when I started cutting it out, I thought it was going to be a disaster because it moves a lot and my pattern pieces weren't as accurate as I would have liked them to be. So I was a bit disappointed, because the dress I made last time I obviously had to convert to a skirt, which was okay, but it wasn't what I'd planned to make. And then I thought this dress wasn't going to work out either, but I thought, well, I'm going to just persevere and I'm going to do everything it says. And I followed the book, and I think it's testament to the pattern how well drafted it was that this worked, even though the pattern pieces were a little bit awry. And I followed step by step, and I overlocked everywhere, and I overlocked the round bits with help from Ellie from Craft House Magic. She put a little video up showing you how to do that on the overlocker, so what to do when you've gone all the way around and it meets. So I did that as well, and it all came together really well, and it actually fits. It's a little bit loose maybe even, so the next one maybe in a slightly thicker fabric. And I've got my invisible zip, which is very invisible, which is great. I haven't pattern matched. I've managed to join my waistband seams as well. I mean, you can't really see it here. I'll try and put some better pictures up. I did mess the zip up a little bit because when I folded it over, I hadn't caught the zip ends in properly. So that's not as neat as it could be, but obviously room for improvement. So this is very nice. When we do end up going back to work, I will wear it to work. I have got a little slip I can wear underneath it. And Boris is obviously talking to us on Sunday to tell us, I think, whether we'll be going back to work or not. Ooh, Doris, what are you doing? So I may well be going to work sooner rather than later. Just put her back there. So I'm very pleased with that, and I'm definitely going to make another one. I lengthened it by 4 inches because if you see on Tilly, I don't think Tilly's particularly tall, but it's above her knee, and I didn't want that, especially for work. So that's my Megan dress all finished. And I'm still waiting for the fabric, and I have got another dress planned to use with that because I ordered 2.5 meters, and I also ordered some other fabric for another dress to replace a ready-to-wear dress that I bought last year, which I didn't like. I liked the fabric, but I didn't like the fit of the dress, and it's very similar fabric, so I'm going to make my own. This is Gaga from the future. I forgot again, Arthur is going to get complex at this rate. I forgot to show you, I made him a shirt. It's obviously from the Luna Lapin book, and I have to say the patterns in there are so well written. Look, he's got a little back pleat like a proper shirt and a yoke. I've never done any of these sort of things. My collar isn't the best, but Arthur knows I tried my best, so that's all he can ask. And I've got some little buttons there, little flowers, little grey flowers, which are similar to the flowers in the shirt. So he's very happy with that. I did break one of the buttons because I sewed them on my sewing machine because I'm too lazy to sew them on myself, and I didn't quite get the needle in the holes right and broke one of the buttons, but fortunately I found another one in my tin. So there is another sewing make. Yay! Yay for Arthur! Woo! Right. Let's go on to crochet. So Johnny Jones the Rhino has gone to his new home. Can you guess what I'm making next? This is First Stitch. Is a very bald, I think he's going to be bald, orangutan. And he's out of Edward's Menagerie, which is this book. And here he is. He's Blake the orangutan. Now he's brown, but on the original Planet of the Apes, the orangutans were always sort of this colour, I think. And also I had 2 balls of this Knit Picks Wool of the Andes in pumpkin left from a cardigan I made, and I asked Josh and he said that's perfect colour, he's quite happy with that. This is worsted weight, which isn't a weight we usually get in the UK, and Johnny the Rhino was in DK, so I have gone up a needle size to a 4mm. Can't really see that, that's a 4mm needle. This one isn't customised. It's one I bought before that's better for my wrist. And so anyway, I've gone up to a 4mm and I've only got 2 balls of this. So hopefully I'm going to have enough. Now I've obviously done his body, so I'm pretty sure, and I've got quite a lot of the first ball left, so I'm pretty sure I'll have enough. And I might have to stripe his legs or something, and Josh said he's happy with that, but I will want to add more fur. So this is First Stitch, and I think later on you're going to have to cut all these loops, but I still think he looks quite threadbare, so I might add some extra hair to him when I finished. If I'll see how much yarn I've got left first, and then after him I'm going to do the elephant for Jack, but that's my crochet. Like I said, I'm doing one sewing project, one crochet project, one knitting project, and a little bit of cross stitch, but I haven't done much cross stitch. I have been working on my cardigan that is in my Craft House Magic bag, which is beautiful. And if you remember last time, I was a bit concerned because this pattern was the very first pattern I bought on Ravelry and I couldn't do it. Well, I'm pleased to announce I now can do it, but I can see why the problems that I had. Not now because I understand, but at the time I think, yes, I know why I struggled with it. So this is the pattern, Peacock Eyes cardigan, and it's by Justyna Lorkowska, and I absolutely love this pattern, and I wanted to make a proper job of it, so I decided to treat myself to a few little gifts from Craft House Magic to help my project along. Now firstly I have this, which is the needle minder for circular needles. I shall take it off to show you. I haven't had one of these before. I've got some DPN cases and I usually slide my needles into that, because in the olden days you just used to push the needles into the ball of yarn, but apparently that's not good for the yarn. So here it is. It's absolutely beautiful, and I chose the sheep because I think they are. And you put the needles in like you saw when I took mine out, and then you roll it up and you put the button on there and it holds them tight without your stitches sliding off, which has happened to me in the past. So I sent for that, and I also sent for these little numbered row counters or stitch markers. I want to use those as I'm decreasing or increasing on the sleeves or anything like that to help me, because they're all numbered. So I'll put a picture in of those. And Ellie, being Ellie, she always sends you some little freebie gifts, and she also put in a beautiful lavender sachet with a little sheep on, and that goes in my bag as well. So my bag smells lovely, and I have to say my package smelled lovely as well, and also a very beautiful mini skein in the colourway Believe. And look, that matches. I know it's not going in this project, but look, matches the bag. And Ellie didn't know I was using her bag for this project. This is my largest project bag, so it fits the cardigan in nicely. Now you have to do 3 sets of peacock eyes, and I've done those. And I get it. I get what they're saying. I used lots of stitch markers, and when I originally made it I didn't know about stitch markers, and I just tried to remember where I was. So it's very easy to make a mistake if you don't have stitch markers. And I didn't know how to do wrap and turns when I first tried this project, and I looked it up on YouTube and I did. It's quite straightforward, but I didn't realise at the time that you then had to, when you went back a row, on the next row, pick up your wrapped stitches, because if you look up on YouTube how to do a wrap and turn, it shows you, but it doesn't tell you you also need to pick the stitches up. So I didn't do that, and it didn't look as nice. So I have done my 3 rows of peacock's eyes, and now I am just increasing for the sleeves. I don't really know if you can see the sleeve increases there. So I'm going to have a front, and then the sleeve section I think will go on some waist yarn, and then the back. So I'm really enjoying knitting this, because now it's just knit and purl rows, and I don't mind doing purl rows with a little bit of increasing just at the stitch markers. Another time that you need stitch markers. So I am really enjoying working on that. So I do tend to knit on this most evenings, and when Josh comes home, when he's been in work, he gives me a dirty look because I'm supposed to be working on his orangutan and I'm working on my cardigan instead. The orangutan is taking a while because that first stitch isn't difficult, but it's time consuming and a little bit fiddly. But I'll get them all done. And my very last thing is my cross stitch, where I have been working on this Peter Rabbit, Peter's Hug, and it was a kit from Aldi's. And all I've done really since last time is the little French knots all around there, and some of the leaves, and I'm not sure if I had done the robin, and I've just started doing some of the outlining, so hopefully I'll get that finished by next time too. My phone is flashing for some reason, I don't know why. I'm back, sorry about that. My phone memory ran out and I thought I would just film this last bit on my laptop camera to see how that works. I've not used that before. So as I was saying, that's all I've got is one project in each section. I've sort of been monogamous in each section, but not just on one project. Not really been up to anything else to share with you. I did buy a bread maker in Lidl's the other week, and I have made a couple of loaves of bread. That's nice. And I have bought some fabric that hasn't arrived. I had to buy some new bulbs for my sewing machine because the bulb went, and all the way through making that dress I had to make do without a bulb, and the very day I finished that in the morning, and in the afternoon the bulbs arrived. But that's fine, I bought two, so I've got a spare now, so I should never be without light. Anyway, take care everyone, and hopefully I shall see you all soon. Thank you very much for watching. Please subscribe and hit the bell or the like button, I don't know. Whatever. Leave a comment, please. That's lovely. That's the bit I like the best. Having comments and being able to reply and engage with you all. So take care, and I shall see you soon. Bye for now.